All right, today's workout is part of a series where I'm going over workouts you could do for GPP, so general physical preparedness. You could do them for recovery, you could do them to improve athleticism, you could do something just maybe you're into power building or powerlifting or something like that. Other workouts that I've shown you, that's why you're here from the channel. Generally, I'm showing all these workouts, so if you want to do something where you can improve your physical fitness or recover, or like today's workout where I'm going to do one that you could do while you travel with minimal equipment, stuff you could take along with you, even in a backpack, like one bag. You can still take the equipment, set it up anywhere. That's what I'm going to show you today. So the intensity could be a little higher, but today it's going to be a little bit lower. Anybody can do this workout, and if you just want to get some blood flowing, get a little bit of pump, whatever you want to do while you're on vacation or you're traveling a lot, maybe you travel a lot for work, that's what this workout is for today. And hey, if you see this workout and you need a little assistance in the future, I'm going to show you my little setup here. So this is my gym. So when I'm training somebody virtually, that's how I see you right there, okay? And there's a workout right there. That's how that works. So anyway, this workout though, today, free of charge, I'm going to go through 3 circuits, 5 exercises. So 3 sets of each 5 exercises. So there's going to be a total of 45 sets. Okay, I'm going to do them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then go back up to the top of the circuit. Okay, so if you want to skip ahead, that's okay. But if you want to see it a little bit more, or actually see me go through the workout, I'm going to do it. You can do that. But there's 15 exercises. I'm doing 3 sets of each. I actually am getting a workout here today, and you're going to see that the equipment that I'm going to use is Body Elastics, and I could always do a little video on that, but I'll probably put a link in the description. You can get them on Amazon, you can find them at Target, online, everywhere. They're all over the place, they're very durable, they're a great piece of equipment. And it's really nice because you can get a lot of resistance with minimal bulk that you're taking for travel, right? You can put these things in about anything right there, and they're safe. They've got something inside the tubing. They have stuff in there so that if they tear, they're not gonna smack you in the face, have a detached retina or something ridiculous like that. That can happen, it has happened. So anyway, that's the equipment I'm going to use, and I'm also going to do some plyometrics, other stuff. I'm going to get started and stop talking about it, but hang tight. If you want to skip through all the sets, go ahead and do that. But if not, no big deal. Just put it in the background. But this is something you can have, up here, get the equipment. So when you go on a vacation or just want something to do where you don't want to go to the gym, this is your workout. All right? I'm going to get started, and I'll see you there. All right, this is the minimalist travel circuit training workout. So I started using the Body Elastics tubing when I actually left Bally Total Fitness and I started to work with clients at their homes. So I was working with a company that basically gave me, or actually not gave me, I purchased invoices when they bought fitness equipment, and I didn't have a gym to belong to. So if somebody questions, like, can you really get a workout with these things? Yeah, absolutely. And they've only gotten better since I purchased them, 15 plus years ago when I left Bally Total Fitness. So anyway, right now I'm doing a reverse lunge with a row. So basically you're going to step back in a reverse lunge and then hold it isometrically and then pull with a row. It's a good multi-exercise or multi-muscle group exercise to do. Now I'm going to do side plank, and you'll see here in the next few sets I actually changed it a little bit so it's a little bit harder. So this is kind of where you would start at. Some people can't even start at this, which is fine. You would just bend your knees and do it from there. So instead of being at your straight legs, the most important thing is that you keep your body straight, so even your head. So basically from your ankles, knees, hips, shoulder, and your head, keep it straight as you do it and hold it isometrically. So a lot of people do planks straight away, but they don't do them, so that they're prone, they don't do them so they're from their side. So I would encourage you to do them, and then once you master that, actually add a little bit of movement, and you'll see that here in the next few sets that I do. So
This is a peripheral hard action workout, so I'm basically switching muscle groups. So I'm going from one exercise to the next with little to no rest, and so your demand on your heart is greater. So you are basically taking deoxygenated blood. It's going back to your heart, then back to your lungs, and then back to your heart, and then back out to the next muscle group. So when you don't take 2 to 3 minutes between your sets and you change up your exercises, so you still get rest. I'm still getting like 2 to 3 minutes of rest per exercise or movement, but my heart isn't getting any rest because I'm going right into another exercise. And that's kind of the secret to this. So, it's you're not going to develop quite as much strength or endurance. So it's kind of the jack of all trades for workouts, but it's pretty close. I mean, if you talk about minimal time, this is kind of the way to go. And today, I'm showing one where you can basically use all the equipment that you can stuff in a little tiny bag and take that along with you, whether you're flying, driving, travel. You don't have to worry about whatever gym they have at the hotel or wherever you're staying. You could pretty much use this equipment basically anywhere you can kind of anchor stuff in. So in like this case, I'm using this almost like a hip circle, and I'm doing some side steps, working some abduction and working my medial glutes. So you don't have to have a hip circle. Just make sure that you set this up the right way so that the metal is not rubbing on you. And you just kind of figure eight it so that you have tension on it the whole time. So it's smaller around than if it was fully extended or out. There I'm doing some high knees, and that's kind of the reactive training I'm doing. It looks dorky to some people, but the utility of doing like high knees and butt kickers and some of these basic exercises and reactive training that you don't need any equipment for is really good. You can use it to improve your running form or just work on mobility, and get your heart rate up a little bit more in between sets. It's a good active rest exercise to do, if anything. There I'm doing sides. There I'm experimenting a little bit. I'm rolling through a little bit, getting some mobility through my back, chest press. It's quite a bit of resistance tubing right there that I'm doing. So that's not a crazy amount, but it's probably about like 60 pounds plus on each side. Side steps again, working some abduction, and high knees again, and that'll be close to, I'm getting closer to being done. So this is third round of this, doing the reverse lunges with rows. Then we go to side planks again. This time I add a little bit of motion into it, which is good. So get a little exercise to cue whether you're for more conditioning or if you do a lot of back squatting while you're walking it out, so you don't tweak your back. There's little muscles in your back and your sides. Like even like a couple times I have actually kind of tweaked my obliques in the back. Not like obliques or your serratus anterior, but like you have a serratus posterior and some other things in your back where you can tweak them if you're not used to rotating and catching the weight. So it's a good exercise to do. And there I just signaled that was first circuit. So that's about a third of the workout done. And while I could have showed you guys some standing rows, or you could do pull downs, like a lat pull down on this too. You can also do pullovers. So that's what I'm doing here. It actually does a really good job. If you just lie down on your back, you're pretty stable. You can actually get a lot of tension and really work your straight arm pull down on this exercise too. So don't feel like you just have to do like rows. So I got the rows in from the kind of the multi-exercise, the multi-muscle exercise, and when I was doing the reverse lunge with the row. Kind of a athletic move. Right now I'm just doing straight arm pull downs for the back. Looking at my workout that I had made, that's what I was staring at. Yeah, it looks like maybe I'm doing curls. We'll find out here in a second. It's kind of interesting because it's been a few weeks since I've done this workout, so I don't even remember. Oh, I decided I wimped out. I was gonna do orange, but I decided to do black tubing or whatever, because I'm doing squats with tubing. So same thing. This isn't going to be too heavy, but you know what? It's surprising how much of a pump you get if you go really fast and do a little bit more reps. It's definitely gonna, like, if you have like powerlifting goals or athletic goals, it's better than doing nothing. So if you're doing like stationary lunges or reverse lunges, Bulgarian split squats without any weight, or even adding some tubing here, it's going to get you by, right? Or if anything, it's also going to be a good way to get some active recovery for maybe you did a hard workout before you left on your trip. So don't count this stuff out and just think, I'm never going to do that. It's worth it. Trust me, I've built up a lot of mass and had pretty good success in athletics and powerlifting, and it's still hard for me. So definitely helps. Right now I'm doing windshield wipers. So it's a good way to get some rotation through your hips. We don't just move. You know, one issue is like personal training, a lot of exercise movements is it's always like straightforward. It's all like bodybuilding. We don't move like that. In athletics or in everyday life, there are a lot of movements that are rotational. So if you've never done windshield wipers, they're a really good exercise to incorporate into like core movements or just workouts in general. Here I'm doing a single leg bridge. So when you're doing this, you don't want to feel this in your hamstring. If you're doing your hamstring, you should feel it in your glute. So when you're driving through your heel, you want to feel this in your glute. If you're feeling in your hamstring, you have some problem called synergistic dominance, where your weaker muscle generally is kind of taking over for a larger muscle group that's not doing its job. So if you're doing this correctly, you're extending through your gluteus maximus and your hamstring should be fine. But if you're starting to cramp in your hamstring, that means you're not cueing your glute enough. So you do need to do more of these single leg bridge type exercises. Now I'm doing butt kickers, gets the heart rate up a little bit, work on form, and then you can always, guys don't have to record this stuff, but I like to look at it to see if I'm actually doing a little bit of hip flexion. Am I really getting the most out of this butt kicker, or are my hips flexing when I'm supposed to be curling up and doing a butt kicker? Straight arm pull downs here again. Get a lot of resistance. Curls, or nope, squats. Jeez, I keep saying curls. So I'm doing just squats. You're obviously not going to feel much until you stand up fully for resistance. Getting some windshield wipers in again. So trying to keep the legs up and high. Single leg bridge. Same thing. So when you're doing this, if you're starting to feel in your hamstrings too much, really try to squeeze your glutes. You shouldn't feel it in your hamstrings at all. And then butt kickers again. You can do one more round. Straight arm pull downs here again. Then next one is going to be squats, followed up by windshield wipers. So if you want to do something a little bit harder for legs when you have this type of setup, you could always do more of like a Bulgarian split squat, where you hold something heavy in your room and put your foot up back on the bed or something like that. That way you're getting all the resistance on one leg. Look like I'm fatiguing a little bit there. I'm dropping down a little bit. So, and then butt kickers. So this will finish the second circuit, like I indicated there. All right, so this is the third second, and even though this might seem kind of wimpy, it's actually a pretty tough workout. So I've got on the post, I'm going to do tricep extension. So you could set it up to do tricep pushdowns or even tricep kickbacks, but I'm doing tricep extension. So this would be like the tubing is kind of taking the place of almost like a pulley, and you're extending from there. It's also really good to work your abs a little bit more when you stabilize. You could alternate which leg is out in front. So this motion I call bicycle crunches. So if you got a side view, what you want to make sure you're doing, and sometimes I don't do this either, is the leg that's not curling up, you want to make sure that you're extending that fully. So push your heel out, drive that across, and make sure you're not pulling on your head while you're curling up there. So once again, getting some rotation in there. Not everything's always straight, like a crunch or a reverse crunch. Rotate your hips. Get some rotation in your body. Now I'm doing curls. So if you're kind of like the tubing, if it seems like it's too easy, you just widen your base right there. So I could have done orange tubing, but there's kind of a big gap between the purple and the orange in the set. That's the only kind of gap, but they want you to use a yellow tubing in between, but I actually kind of take out the yellow tubing because it's kind of pain in the butt. It gets all twisted on the other one. So I just widen my feet, and it's a little harder. If it's too heavy for you for the tubing, you could actually move your feet in closer. So that just gives you a little more slack on the tubing. This one's rear delts. Does a very similar motion or feel as it is if you do it with cables. It's a great motion to do. And then I'm going to finish with ice skaters. So I had hip flexion exercise from the high knees, and then I had hip extension by doing the butt kickers and working the hamstrings. And now I'm going to do a lateral movement here by doing ice skaters back and forth. So, and I think at this point too, from other workouts, my glutes were really, really sore. So I was trying not to have them cramp. That's why I'm going a little bit slower. Usually I'm a little more aggressive, and maybe by the third set I was. But back to the triceps again. So bicycle crunches. Like I said, guys, you might even have to take the whole pack. If you know what you're going to do for exercises, you might even have to take all the tubing. And the nice thing with this set is it comes with multiple handles, so you don't have to constantly take them off. But it's a really good set. If you do look into resistance tubing, this is kind of the way to go. You're going to know that it's more expensive, this Body Elastics, but one, it has the twine in between, so like if it tears, it's not going to like snap back and hit in the face. And I did say that could happen with the detached retina earlier in the video, because when I was working for Bally Total Fitness in the Twin Cities, one time one of the trainers, when the tubing snapped and it actually hit him in the eye and detached his retina. So crazy stuff can happen. So if you buy this tubing, you never have to worry about that, because there's twine in there. If the tubing tears, it's not going to fly back at you. There we go. Rear delt again. Ice skaters again, back and forth. Like flash there. And that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. That's a traveling workout. Another workout coming to you really soon. Take care, guys. Peace.